Does this work? Yeah, of course it does. How it's supposed to know. Hello, 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 hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on your time zone. We are back for more art streaming. I gotta find my stylus. How have I been setting up this morning? And I don't even know where my stylus is for my tablet. Oh boy. This is gonna be an awkward start. Let's see if I can find that real quick. And then we'll switch screens. Just give me one moment. I feel like it must have been one of my cats. They like to play with it and like bat it off of my desk. So I suspect, there it is. Got it. Hello, We Hire Monkeys. Hello, Cam. Welcome to the stream. Bingo Ned, hello. So good to see you all. It really is. It feels like it's been a minute. So we are going to switch screens and we are using this screen today. And you might have noticed my little talking avatar is missing. And that is because it seems to have self-destructed. It's just not on my computer anymore. I don't know if the software did a recall. I didn't even know software could do a recall. But somehow, some way, at some point, it deleted itself. It's gone. Like the desktop icon was even still on my desk, and that is like it's a broken icon. It doesn't go to anything, and then it asked me if it wanted me to delete the icon too, and I was like, wow, fam, this is what we're really doing. Our little PNG tubers are just taking a hike. Hello, she's so drama. Good to see you. Glad you're here. I'll have to catch the replay, you said. Okay, well, I appreciate you dropping by, and I hope that you enjoyed the replay. We are going to work on the Webtoon 2025 contest entry today. And I know that She's So Drama is also joining this contest. So if you enjoy comics, if you enjoy Webtoons, if you enjoy art, and you like art YouTubers, check out She's So Drama's channel. I know I did, and I subscribed immediately because she has some good stuff. We Hear Monkeys. It was difficult for me last time. Don't eat pills from a guy in an alley. Yeah, don't do that. Why would you do that? No, don't do that. That's a terrible idea. All right, so as a brief recap, because I also don't want to just start on a blank screen. I'm not the cold turkey type. I don't like to start cold. So we're going to take a quick look at what I call sheets, because we don't really have pages in Webtoons. We have the scroll format, right? So here are the first 4 sheets for chapter 1 of this webcomic that we're working on. And if I open this up, this is what we worked on last stream. So if we scroll through here, we start off up here with this shot, this scene, if you will, of an airship and explosions. It looks like they're firing their cannons. You've got some silhouettes here that are obviously fighting. This one's kneeling and pointing a gun. That one's got a sword and flying. We'll explain that later, folks. We will explain the flying people later. Got some fighting happening in the building through these windows. We've got some narration happening. And then as we scroll down, the perspective kind of changes. We come closer to the airships, closer to the tower. Here's like a mooring post at the dock that pokes out from the building. More, what do you call this? Exposition, more exposition. And then this panel where we get some fighting up close and personal, which I truly enjoyed. This was a lot of fun to draw. We Hire Monkeys. What are you saying? Oh, Cam, first of all, Cam is switching computers. Sounds good. And you're back. That's great. We Hire Monkeys is trying to work out making a voice bank. It's hard. And you might fall asleep and you're old. I feel older every day. Isn't that crazy? But isn't that how time works, unfortunately, for all of us? Bingo Ned, it's one of those, man, I wish I could draw days for me. I'm on the struggle grind. I feel that. I actually have a lot of catching up to do. I'm going to have to, find ways to speed up my process today, because I took the last 3 days off. I finished like these first 4 sheets, and then I was looking at like the blank first page of the next sheet, and I just got distracted by, you know, just kind of what's going on in the intro web world with the whole TikTok ban and all that other stuff. So I have been very entertained the last couple of days, but I have been very not productive too at the same time. So again, and then one more of these exposition narrative boxes. And then we're like going to start seeing characters talk and interact and meet some main characters here. So then we have this guy. His name is Alexander. And he just realized that as he's in this battle, this airship battle, that he recognizes somebody. He's like, Caitlin, please leave. Don't make me hurt you. There are spoilers, by the way. I don't know if that was clear when you clicked on this stream this morning, that there would be spoilers. Yes, there will be spoilers. I am sorry, but I do hope that you will still enjoy, like, and be absolutely blown away by seeing all of this again in color, in fabulous, vibrant color. Our colorist, Art Breaker, who's not in the chat right now, but she might visit later, is an amazing colorist and is going to make this whole thing pop. It's going to be just striking. It's so beautiful. I've already seen the work in progress. I'm very excited. But I hope you will all share that excitement on Webtoons when we drop our contest entry, and leave us lots of love and comments. Please, 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 because it goes a long way and it's worth a lot as far as grading goes. So then we have Caitlin here. So she's like, leave, but I just got here. Besides, I have a better idea. And, you know, she's just looking fierce. We've got Caitlin standing here. There's an explosion in the background. She's holding her sword. She looks amazing. I love her. She is my baby. And then as we continue to scroll down, notice this has all been one continuous background, right? So we started at the top of the tower. We came eye to eye with it. And as we continue to scroll down, now the perspective has shifted and we're looking down, like below our POV, below our angle, right? Like our perspective into, now we're seeing the tops of the airships and we're seeing the bottom of the tower as it meets the ground. And then we have like this one last airship that is just kind of like spiraling out, and all that smoke leads to the rotor here. We Hair Monkey says, I'll probably draw later. I obsess over vector lines though. I should be drawing all of this in vector. I'm fully aware of that, but I don't want to take the time to learn vector right now. So unfortunately, I'm still in raster. We're still raster drawing this. So let's continue through our catch up from like the last stream. We're going to just keep scrolling through here. I'm not going to read anything. I don't want to give you the story just yet. I want that to be kind of a surprise when we get where we're going. I am going to add like this gray background for this one because as we're going to see, there's like some little effects, some swooshy effects in white. So then we've got like this fight where she's like knocking swords out of people's hands, cutting people's trousers and they're falling off. And then you've got like this, you know, the money shot. Here she is coming fully forward and glaring at our other character. And so here he is kind of being shocked by the situation, and her again, giving a little dialogue, him being a smarty pants, and that leads us to our fourth. So I did get quite a bit done since our last stream. I mean, we got 4 sheets down, right? So just a little chibi, because every once in a while you just want to throw a little chibi in there. I think she's cute. I love the little chibi. Yeah, so we're just going to keep scrolling through here. I just want you guys to kind of like see what we've worked on, but I don't want to explain it in detail. I want you to get the story when we get to actually reading it on Webtoon. But this is where we landed, right? This was the very last shot. And if you take a look, this matters because this is where we're going to start today, is from here. Yeah, let's turn off the text. Y'all don't need to see that, sorry. We don't need to give that away. But notice what he's doing here. He's reaching for his sword, right? Like there was just an explosion. He caught the girl because she kind of like flew forward. But he's reaching for the sword here, even as he's speaking to her. And that's where we're going to start today. But first I got to clear these, right? Do not save. Do not save because I didn't change anything. There we go. So we're starting there with today's, and I've got my grid pulled up so that I can create panels that are centered if I want them to be centered, if I want them to be off-centered, I want it to be intentional. Hello, Lunar Garden. Good to see you. Sorry, I'm yawning. It's early. It's still early. I'm so glad you were able to make it to the stream. We Hear Monkeys, and my phone screen isn't huge, so I'll just read it. Is that a fart? No, that is not what it says. And then we have, you're speaking about your voice bank claims to, my voice bank character claims to be 32, but she may be lying and is actually older like most celebrities. Can they even lie about their age at this point? Don't we kind of know? Don't we know? Like IMDb just kind of like puts that out there, like that nobody's hiding their age. We know when they were born. All that stuff is listed. All right. So my next thought here, because I gotta start paneling. And I did not thumbnail this time, because like I told you before, I have been super distracted by the intraweb drama with the TikTok ban and everything that preceded it. So yes, I've been super distracted and I have not thumbnailed, but I did have a vague idea of how I wanted to handle the next couple of shots. So they put up a fake birthday and then they get found out. Oh, I didn't know that. I did not know that. I didn't realize that was a thing. All right, so I do want to do a really tight shot for the next shot. Oh, and I think I'm supposed to skip. Hang on. Undo. Let me look real quick. Yeah, so the last one came all the way to the edge, so I want to skip 1, 2, 3, 3 blocks, and then put it here, because I want to give there enough space when these all come together as one long scroll. So this is a really tiny, really tight panel, because I want to do kind of like an extreme close-up. Because he's like, I would never, what did he say? I would never hurt you on purpose, as he reaches for his sword. So here I'm thinking I want to have him say something like, goodness, I do have a script, you guys, I do. I just didn't pull it up, so I should probably do that real quick. I will pull up my script and try to follow it so that I don't accidentally take myself off the rails here. I want to make sure that my story follows the story and I'm not just winging it. So let me get into my Webtoon folder. Love Cursed Queen of Rogues. Oh, by the way, did you see my background? This is my main, these are like my female lead, my 2 male leads, because it is technically in the romance category, and we are going to have ourselves a love triangle. Sorry, but that's what we're doing. So yeah, I put together this reference for Artbreaker for the colors, and then we have, it's just base colors. She has, her own style, and I'm like fully comfortable with her starting with these colors and then rendering however she renders, like doing her own thing, because unlike with Migoned, unlike with what we're doing on Venerable, my other webcomic, it's gonna be like a more complex art style. With Venerable, the point of Venerable was to make it as efficient, as quick, as streamlined as possible. And so the line art style, so let's pull up a little, for those of you who don't know, and some of you do, I know some of you do read Venerable, and I super appreciate it, by the way, I really do. So let's look down here real quick. If we back up Webtoons and let's go into the Venerable folder, and we can go into character sheets real quick. Let's go to, so for Bingo Ned, right? This is what I gave Artbreaker for the new comic, and then for Bingo Ned working on Venerable, this is the color sheet that I gave him. So these are the characters, but you can see that the style is quite different. The color for these guys is pretty flat. So Bingo Ned really does most of the coloring completely by himself. All I do after he's done coloring is I come through with like a color dodge layer, and I add these highlights. These like literally just with a pen, not even like blending, not rendering, not trying to airbrush anything. I just come in with a pen and I add highlights this way. So you can kind of see, like I just kind of follow the line art most of the time. Sometimes I don't, like with the armor here, I try to put a shine on the armor. So I go in the mix of the colors. But it's very basic because I wanted efficiency with this comic. I wanted to be able to do this comic even if my daily life as an adult was extremely packed, which most of the time it is. So yeah, you can kind of see here, these are venerable characters. These are venerable character sheets. And references. Used to be called Young at Heart, but that's neither here nor there. And then these are reference sheets for our new cast of characters. And you can kind of see that the reference images too are wildly different one to the other. Like these pictures of Sky, all three drawn by a different person. Because this story has been around for a very long time. It's based on a roleplay group that you can learn all about in my Discord. So I think I have probably I have probably delayed enough. So let's go ahead and go back into here. And I will open that folder back up and grab that script, and we will keep on moving. So we're going to back out of Venerable. We're going to go into the core. Love Chris, Queen of Rogues. If you make it an acronym, it's kind of like liqueur. And then we're going to go down here to writing. Oh, let's back up a second. So I told you our breaker's an amazing colorist. Check out these colors. Check this out. Amazing. Just amazing. I am so excited to see this comic in this color. It's going to be so good. So that said, we're going into the writing folder. Script. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to just pull this up here on my other screen, and we're going to keep on keeping on. How are you guys doing with your personal projects, by the way? Because I know I'm not the only one working on a project right now. I know that you all have something going on, and usually we kind of like touch base and see how it's going. So let me know, how are your projects going? Bingonet says, I need to step it up. I don't actually have any panels done yet, and I don't think I'm going to hit that deadline if I'm being real. Well, luckily the deadline is kind of like a window. It's like a whole month. So even if you can't be done by March 10th, when entries open, although it's preferable to get in first because you want to get the most eyes on it, you don't have to be done by March 10th. You have like a whole extra month before submissions close. And then like the judging process kind of lasts 3/4 of a year because they'll go through different heats, right? Like they'll eliminate all but 24 comics in the original round of judging, and then after that they'll bring it down to like the final 12, and after that the final, I think 5. It's like 4 runner-ups, and then the top tier, the number 1 winner or something like that. I'm not sure, but it's something like that. There will be different heats, so it's gonna take a while before we actually find out who wins. But yeah, we kind of have to get started. So I wish you luck. I've seen your WIPs, your work in progresses, in the Discord, and I think that you have something there. I just hope that you're able to make time for it and keep up the energy, the mojo, if you will. Back to panels. We're gonna keep making panels. Cam says most of my reference sheets are done. That's good. You got fired, Bingo Ned. Did you really? Or wait, are you being completely serious right now? Oof. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. That's so stressful. It's stressful for something like that to happen. If you can hear my mouse wheel scrolling, it's because I'm trying to look at the story to figure out where in the script I am right now. I think what I want, so we're gonna do this close up, and then I want some word art here, like some word text. Something like that, maybe. Oh, come on. Why is it? Oh, I know why it's doing that. It thinks it's inside. There we go. That's not what I wanted. Okay, hang on. We need to look at this again because there is 2 ways to do this. And this is the way I want to do it. So we're going to delete this one and just do this one. I think what I'm gonna have to do for the word art is actually like hand make it or something. I don't think that just typing it like this is gonna work because it's just not that exciting. Like this typing is not it. It's like, it's boring. It's very, very boring. And I don't know if there's a better way to make text art on, what am I using? I'm using Clip Studio Paint. So yeah, I just don't know if there's a better way to do this. So we're just gonna do that for now and maybe like move it into position because it's kind of low. I don't want to have that much of a gap. So we'll drop this up here. Yeah, something like here. I don't know. We'll do some kind of word art there to imply like an effect. And then we need, do I want to do like a reaction shot first though? Maybe I do. I'm sorry. You guys probably are like, what is she talking about? Yeah, I think we're gonna have to space this out again. So this is too soon. I love being able to like move things because they're on their own layers. It's nice. It's so nice. So I'm gonna do 1 for 1. So, and we're gonna do them back to back. Like I'm not gonna put like the usual gap. I want this to feel quick. I want it to feel like a very immediate response. So we're gonna go that one and then we're gonna go this one, right? Like it's like boom, boom, instant. And then maybe what I'm thinking is possible if I do this and then I grab that little cut panel thing. What if we did something like that? Yes, I'm feeling that. I know this is probably super confusing because you guys have like no point of reference for what any of this is supposed to even be for, but that's okay. It's okay. Trust the process. Trust the process. Just trust it. Trust. All the trust. We just need trust. All right, so I think something like this. I am mostly winging it right now. Like I'm being completely honest with you. Yes, there we go. Now I can read that. I'm basically winging this. And what I want to do is grab these and move them all down because I think that's just way too close to the other ones that we were looking at. So we'll create some space here. And I think that's some paneling we can work with for the immediate reaction that I want to have. So we'll start with these and then we'll start drawing so that you guys aren't just watching me do something stupid. All right, so what I need to do here is decide what is the most important thing to focus on for these action reaction shot, like this close up, this focused in inserts, basically. Like in film, we call it an insert. So you do an insert shot when you're trying to focus on a close up, like something, like say you're filming a scene, you want to build tension, and so you zoom in. If it's a romance, you might zoom in on like the eyes looking down, and then you zoom on the lips of the other person as if they're thinking about a kiss. Or if it's like tension for like another reason, and you would have like a thriller or horror, you would have a scene, right, of somebody making tea, but then there's a knock at the door, and so you draw them leaving the room in the next panel, but then you do a close-up on the tea kettle, like it's boiling over or something. So stuff like that, like you call them inserts. We're going to do some inserts here. But before we do that, we kind of got to know, I want to see this because I want to think about, this is the situation, right? Homeboy's drawing a sword on this girl. But he's also promising not to hurt her at the same time, or saying that he would never do it on purpose. So it's a very complex situation that's going to require a little bit of explanation as we continue through the story, but that's the point. We want you to kind of like wonder, what the heck? Why is he doing this? And is she going to be okay? That's kind of like the point, right? We Hear Monkeys, there's always Krita and GIMP. Luna Garden, I bought a laptop finally, but now I have to open more commissions because I don't have enough to buy Clip Studio. Oh. I do use Krita to draw Venerable. I like Krita, but I'm trying to do this one in Clip Studio because I'm trying to eliminate how many programs I'm using, because one of my biggest issues that I had with making my first comic, as you will see if you look at my video on my channel, my what not to do video about webtoons, one of the biggest issues I have is that I would try to use like 5 different programs because I wanted to use them for what they like oh, Krita for making panels Clip Studio Paint for making my panels and my word balloons, and then I want to use Krita to draw my line art, and then I want to use Sketchbook Pro to color my line art, and I was like bouncing around so much, and it was just not efficient. It was not convenient. I was potentially losing file quality by importing, outporting, exporting to all these different programs. I might have been like creating just a lot of fragments and loss and however all that stuff works, you know. I need more coffee. I'm yawning so much. I'm so sorry. I hope I'm not making anybody tired, but I do feel like I need coffee. But yeah, if we, let's see, if we pop in here, I have this comic creation playlist, right? So if you are looking to make comics, I do have a playlist completely ready for you. I have the full process explained here in this very first video, top video, probably the best resource. It tells you kind of everything you need to know. And then we have this one, which is the one I was telling you about, make fewer mistakes. And this goes over like what I learned from making my first comic. Like, these are my mistakes. Don't repeat my mistakes. Save yourself the trouble. And then I have some basics that will really help you, like how to draw anatomy and posing. And there's 3 different ways to do it, 3 different techniques in here. We've got how to draw heads and faces, how to draw line art. So besides just being able to sketch different styles of line art, so we've got like the anime style, which is under the sticky note here. We've got this one, which is a little bit more about, I don't know what to call these styles, but I go over it in the video, and I think it's really helpful, especially if you have a style you really like from an artist that you follow, but you don't know how to add it to your work. This video could really help with that. And then lastly, we have these ones on the bottom, which are background, like how to do backgrounds, right? So I have like simple backgrounds, I have intermediate backgrounds, and then I have more complex backgrounds here. So there's 3 different levels of background advice in here as well. So if you want to do like, I just want simple backgrounds for my comic. I'm not comfortable with backgrounds are hard. I just want to make simple ones. This first video will help you with that. Easy mode backgrounds, right? And then we have, lastly down here, a coloring tutorial if you're using Sketchbook. So that's just that for anyone who's interested in making comics. I do have an entire playlist for you. And it's not like a long playlist. It's got like, I don't know how many videos were on that list. 9 videos on this list. And so it's very much like, this is just what's useful to you. I didn't pack the playlist with all of my videos because I just want you to watch them. I put in there specifically what I think will help you make comics. Bingonet, if you ever need help about how to do specific stuff in Clip Studio Paint, just ask me. I have spent a stupid amount of time learning different shortcuts and techniques. Do you know a good way to make word art? Because, and let's turn off this grid, because this is like it. This is what I got from here. I'm like, I may as well just draw my own word art because this is not exciting enough. It's not dynamic enough. So I'm like, I'm not feeling the word art right now. Like, this isn't, no. It's too simple. It's too plain. Like, so for example, I saw, man, I feel like this is more of a like hangout and a talk than it is me doing any drawing, but that's okay. We'll get to drawing. It'll happen because I really do need to get some work done today. Where did it go? I did a screenshot. Am I looking in the wrong folder? I am. Like, check this out. I screenshot this from a video I was watching because I was like, what? I had to hit pause. I was watching this video about another person's like Webtoon process. And I saw this screenshot, which they were just like scrolling through. They just went past it like it was nothing. And I was like, I'm sorry, pause. This is too good. What are you doing? Why won't you like just pause? Like spend some time on this panel. Let me enjoy this panel. This is amazing. But like, look at this word art. That is so good. So good. Just remarkable. And so I had to screenshot it and save it just so I can use it as kind of like, just kind of like let my eyeballs osmosis that into my soul and try to figure out how to do that for my own comics. Like that's what I want. It's very different from this shing that you see on screen. Like there's this and then there's that. And it's like this and then that. And they're not even comparable. There's a huge difference. So that's my goal, is to get to that level. I want that level of word art, text art in my comics. We Hair Monkeys, I don't actually use the text tool. I just write them correct the vector lines. Yeah, I'm not working in vector, but that's a great recommendation. I really know I should learn vector. That's on my long-term to-do list, is to learn vector art. Being an ed, oh yeah, no, the text tool in CSP is hands down the worst and most jank feature, unless you're just doing straight lettering. Yeah, that's what I figured. So I'll probably have to find another method for doing this text art. So this is a placeholder. I'm thinking just a placeholder, and then I'll do something a little bit more later with that. Let's see. The best you can do is duplicate that boom, is to rasterize the text, duplicate it, offset it, change the color, add some texture. That's true. Adding textures goes a long way. I feel like I've been sleeping on textures, to be honest. I don't think that I have given them their due, like at all. Why is this like this? Why? Oh, because it's going across screens. That's why. I feel like the one that I did recently for Venerable, if you guys will bear with me as I pull up some more stuff. Just in like the last chapter, Bingo Nights was the last chapter. We have this shot. Oh, and of course it's clipped in a weird way, but yeah. So here we go. See that? Like this roar? I did that also in Clip Studio, kind of the same way I just did the shing. I like put it on the curved text option, and then I just picked the font that was already kind of like this. I used this monster font, and I added texture. It's super, super light. It's not like overwhelming texture, and it drifts down here. But I'm so sorry that these are like this, that we're not looking at it as like a full sheet, unfortunately. I feel like if I went here, and then we went to colors, is this it? Maybe this will give it to me? Yeah. So, but then it's not letting me zoom in. What the heck? Lame. All right, so yeah, that works. We'll do it that way. So here you can kind of see it. This was kind of like my attempt at some sound effect text art. And so far this is what I got. So I'm trying to level it up. My goal is to level this up to make better text art. But for the time being, I felt like this was a pretty good, I was feeling this. I was pretty happy with it. And like you said, texture kind of like brings it that extra pop. So I added like the scaly texture in here because it's like, it's a dragon roar. So yeah, there we are. That's what's up. So shout out to anyone who hasn't read Venerable yet. If you're looking for something to fill the time while everybody else is on hiatus because they're all working on contest entries, allow me this shameless plug to suggest to you that you go read my webtoon Venerable. It's great. Highly recommend. In fact, here it is. Oh no, why did it do that? I'm like trying to split screens here and it's not working for me. This is it. It looks like this. This is our leading lady, Marty, dragon behind her, Venerable. We're not quite at 1,000 subscribers. We've just kind of like lingering under the 1,000 mark for a little while now, so hoping to bring some heat back to it. As you can see, the numbers have kind of like dropped off over time, unfortunately. But we're still sitting at a pretty strong, not like we're still sitting at a solid 9. I wouldn't say a strong 9, but we're at a solid 9, which is a good. It's good. It's good. And the story, while may not be the most wide cast net as far as like reader base goes, it is unique. It's about an old lady protagonist. We get Granny as the chosen one instead of, you know, some teen or something. And she's going to champion and save a magic kingdom. Lion Witch in the Wardrobe style. So it's a lot of fun. I think it's a good comic. I think it's a sweet comic. And that tends to be the feedback. People think it's really sweet. So I hope you guys will enjoy it and give it a chance if you haven't already read it. Okay, so moving on, back to work. Why is this so hard to work when I'm on stream? I feel like I have nerves. I have so much nerves. I have discovered with this app something that's really cool, and that is, what do you call them? They're, we're gonna go down here, Open Clip Studio. There it is. So if I go into material management, we have ourselves these, like little models, right? Like you have these 3D people that you can drop into your, kind of like how this kind of explains it. You get the head and then you just draw on top of the features of your character on top of it, right? Kind of same thing here. Like it's just the head, but then you got to add like the features of your character to make them who they are. But it's helpful. It is, because if you're like, I really want a weird angle, like I want to be like looking down at a character from a balcony or something, and then like how do I draw them from the top of the head down? This makes it easy because you can just kind of like drop in a 3D asset, flip them. You guys know this. You guys probably knew this long before I did. You guys are all CSP pros. I'm the one who's learning it for the first time. So yeah, let's figure this out. Let's decide what we're doing with this tension, because we have, this is like such a, I wish I had stopped on a much easier moment in the comic to stream, because this is a tough one, and I feel like I still don't even fully grasp mentally how I want to draw this moment, because I understand the scene. I just don't know how I want to draw the scene, and that's making me feel very, very anxious on stream right now. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm letting you all see how little I know. Bingo Ned says, I am the 3D model's strongest warrior. I don't like drawing anatomy. Drawing the characters is the fun part. I only just started using 3D models literally for this comic. So everything I've drawn up until this point, everything has been hand-drawn. And like, I hope that means something, because I've just been toughing it out the hard way all this time. I am gonna be right back though, because my throat is like getting really parched, and I have to get a drink. I'm so sorry. I will be back. Let me figure out where did OBS go so I can, there it is, so I can put us to be right back. right, we are back. So let's head back in here. I was thinking for this moment, just in case in the full shot of the couple, our attention is not drawn to the fact that he's drawing the sword. That could be our first focal point, right? And since we do have this kind of already drawn out, so these are the models, right? The guy's reaching for the sword. Where is, honestly, where is this going? I don't understand. There we go. So let's pull this back in for a second. Pull this inside. So if I hide some of these models, we could literally just use the same drawing and then scale it. It's an option so that we're drawing attention literally to this part, to this moment right here, which is an option. Or if we really want to make things hard on ourselves, we do have the models here. We have the sword, we have the couple grabbing for it. I don't know what that is, so we're just gonna ignore that. I think the problem here is if I try to rotate these, right? If I try to hit this from a slightly different angle, it doesn't rotate all this stuff together. So like the couple will rotate together. If I try to, well, not even, like Kate's just rotating by herself, so that's not great. That's my only struggle with like these 3D models is as you add accessories and things, like I added the sword, you can't exactly rotate everything together. So I can have him rotate and reach for his sword or whatever, but you see, like, it's a problem. Like, the other stuff doesn't come with him. But I don't think we need to go that hard. Like I said, I do want to try to save time here because I lost time the last 3 days. So what I think is just as good is to just draw attention to this part of that drawing already. So we will just use this for this panel. Because again, like I said, when you are trying to draw attention to something, you do an insert. And that's what this is an insert panel. We had the full, like the wide panel of the whole couples. And then we just had him reaching for this kind of like sneakily. And now we're zooming in, we're focusing on it. This is an insert panel. And then we're gonna have a reaction panel here for Kate. So does she notice? Does she not notice? You can actually pin objects to hands. What? Bingo Dead, I need to learn this. I need to learn how to do that. Because that would save me so much time and effort trying to get all these different 3D assets to rotate the same way. Yeah, let's learn that. Like maybe over Discord or something later. Let's do that. I would appreciate it because that would help me so much. All right, so there's our insert so that we make sure that readers do notice that he is reaching for his sword. And then here I want to have a reaction shot for Kate. So for that, let's open this up. And what I am doing now, because I made the mistake once already of accidentally collapsing solid white backgrounds into my liner, making it impossible to color the liner art if I wanted to lock pixels and color them, I'm going to delete this first. So each panel I got to delete those backgrounds. Otherwise, you might run into the same problem that I did, and it's not fun. Right, well, now let's get a reaction shot from Kate. I think what we should have from Kate is her, like, a reaction shot on her face, but her eyes kind of looking down to the, like, down to the left, like she kind of sees what he's doing, where his hand is going, so she has a chance, a split-second chance, to try to, like, get out of the way of this sword that he's pulling. And for that headshot reaction, let me go ahead and find a model for her. I think I was using this one, so we'll keep using this one. All right, so first of all, let's bring it closer. And then, I don't know, something more like this. Rotate, rotate, rotate. I want her looking down. I want her to see what he's doing. But does this, so this isn't breaking the 180, but it also just doesn't look, it doesn't read from here to here that we're looking at her face. I almost feel like, because for this, Kate was facing kind of backwards, right? In like the wide. The one right, like you can tell the body's turned this way. So Kate's body would be turned this way. And then she would be looking, I think from this perspective though, we can still have like the eyes kind of looking down. So we can still pull that off from here. See, I'm trying to find the shot. It's not always, your brain doesn't always have a perfect picture. You gotta kind of iron it out, you know? I really wish I was more ready, had panels that were like a little bit easier to just like run with instead of this one that I have to sort of dig out so that stream could be a little bit more interesting. I'm so sorry, guys. But sometimes this is what the process looks like. Sometimes the process is painful. Being on it, if you click the wrench in the bottom left of the tool property tab, then go to object list, you can drag objects under each other. What? Okay, we're gonna try this. Not here. We're gonna leave that alone. We're gonna try this in here. So let's go back up here. I know that we already decided we're gonna use this shot, right? So I will lock it, but then we're gonna like turn it off. So we can look at, let's just experiment here for a second, because you said that we could parent, so this sword, I can parent the sword under this guy's hand, you said. How do I do that? Okay, if you click the wrench in the bottom left, then go to the object list. Okay, wrench, object list, sword, yeah. From there, you can objects under each other to parent them. There's no other, hang on, do I have to select all? Like, do I select all of these and then hit the wrench? Oh, this wrench. This wrench? No. What am I doing wrong? How do I do this? What am I doing wrong? Do I have to start with a couple and then add the sword? Oh, they have to be on the same layer. It's not on the same layer. These two characters are on the same layer. All right, so next time when I import an object, I'll import it on the same layer. Okay, all right, interesting. Well, that's interesting. I'll have to remember that. Thank you. Got it. All right, well, for next time. We'll try that next time for sure. So let's turn this back on. We'll turn whatever that is off. We don't want it. And then we'll close this. So that panel's fine. This panel's good. Moving back down to here. I wonder if it would be worth adding, because at this angle we would still see his face. So I kind of feel like we need to add him back in here. Because we can't just have her face. We have to also, if he's that close to her, we gotta see his face too. So let's do that. We will add him as well. So let's rotate him. No, not that way. This way, bring him forward, swing him over. I feel like, man, did I put these two like way too close together? Like, do I need to... Oops. I'm gonna sneeze. No, that's not it. I don't like any of that. That's terrible. I didn't put them on the same plane again either, so maybe I should put them on the same layer. So let's get rid of him. Let's make sure it's on this layer with her. If I put them on the same layer, then I can rotate them together. So let's, ooh gosh, rotate you. That's probably not how I meant to put you. Move you down, my guy. And maybe, okay, why is his head by itself too close though? He needs to, no, this is too close. He's huge. Why is he huge? I don't want him to be huge. 3D models is hard. This is like a learning process for me. Because I definitely have not done these before. I'm still learning them. I do think, so he's a little taller. We can have him kind of like here. But then Kate, I don't know. Should Kate be looking like, should I tilt her head like she's like, oh gosh, no. Ugh, this is hard. It was almost easier to just hand draw everything than to figure this out. I mean, they're just faces, right? I don't know. It's the thought that counts. I don't know. Am I boring you guys to tears? Probably. Is it fun to watch me struggle? I feel like that's the only way that this would be fun, is if it's like, oh, I struggle with that too. It's so nice to see somebody else have the same trouble with the same thing that I struggle with. Like that I could see, maybe, being like a thing. But now, see, I can rotate them together now. Woohoo! They're on the same level. So something like that, maybe. And then have her like looking down. Like, what? Sir, get your hand off your sword. Sir. This is uncalled for, sir. So yeah, we'll just have like this like reaction shot. I'll get both of the reactions in here. I want her eyes to kind of like notice, to be looking down, notice where his hand is. I want him to kind of like, this is important, right? He said, I would never hurt you on purpose. So there's something going on here that is like driving his hand. And this world does have magic. So he is very likely, I mean, I did warn spoilers in the comments, right? Like in the description. He is very much so being compelled. But we'll learn more about that later. So yeah, this is part of like, you know, it's the inciting incident. It's called Love Cursed Queen of Rogues. It's part of us establishing why she thinks she's cursed. So we'll just leave it at that. Bingo Ned, see, this is why you doodle stick figures first to figure out, then you hit the 3D. Yeah, exactly. This is why you have your thumbnails first. Thumbnailing is such an important step. I skipped it here because, like I said, I have been screwing off all the last 3 days and not doing the labor that needs to be done. Instead, I'm just winging it, and the winging it is also causing frustration and taking time and not like my best work. So I highly recommend the thumbnailing stage, friends. Definitely do your thumbnails. Last stream, we had thumbnails, and what did we get for it? We got amazing, beautiful panels because it was planned. Now I'm just like making it up, and it's very basic. Yes. Hang on. We Hair Monkey said, I have an old video editing keyboard with the shortcuts printed on it. It was under €10, yet new ones are like 130. Yowza. That is quite the leap in cost. You know, Lunar Garden says, yay, 3D models, my saving grace for proportion sizes. Oh yeah, and Bingo Ned said your skill level does suffer a bit over reliance on 3D, but you enjoy everything after anatomy so much more. That is true. Like, that is something I have discovered in this process. Like, even doing this shot, like the full body version of this, really, like, oh gosh. After I figured out the posing, like once I got, because the models have the proportions and it's consistent, which is nice. You end up with consistent proportions if you use the same model for the same character every time. But definitely once I got those posed the way I wanted them and the camera angle the way I wanted it, adding details is so much nicer now. It's so much more enjoyable to focus on like, oh, how do I want to draw the hair and how do I want to draw the clothes once you've got the anatomy like locked down. It's so much more fun. I was trying to pull up, I feel like I'm on a struggle bus here. I am struggling. Let's see. I feel like any one of these probably has a good example in it. Or probably this one, so I'll open it. Lunar Garden, when I worked on my comic, I had sketched thumbnails in my sketchbook. Yeah, I tend to do mine on paper. I think I showed you guys last time because I had the cam set up so that you could actually see my desk. I do all my thumbnailing I do on paper. And then I do, so let's pull this in here. And then I take a picture of it. I send the picture to myself so that I can open it on my computer. And then I use that thumbnail to draw the digital copies of everything. So VU 100. So I've opened this in Photoshop. Yikes, that's way too zoom out. Way too close up. But yeah, having the point of opening this was to show you that having the model locked in, like, so that I could do, like, okay, the anatomy is set, the pose is made because I have the model. I'm able to do stuff like this. We did this panel live on stream, like this drawing right here. For all of my goofing off this stream and how little productivity we have, this is what we actually achieved last stream. We drew this, and it was quick, it was efficient, and it was fun. And we were able to like really focus on giving the character their character instead of worrying about the pose or the action or any of that other basic fundamental stuff. And we were like, oh, what kind of buttons should we use? And how do we do the folds for the shirt like this? And like the hair, and adding like the little pieces of the braid that are like the hair that's flying out. The expression, you know, like all of this. It feels like a step stool, the 3D models, I think. It feels like being able to get up on a step stool so that you can paint higher up the wall or something if you're painting the wall or something. It just really helps, I think, because it conserves energy. Like, I'm not spent by the time I get my pose in. Like, if I'm like sketching and I'm like trying to figure out my proportions of my pose and everything, and I'm creating my scene, my backgrounds, and I'm like sketching my sketch layer, because the 3D model kind of becomes your sketch layer. All of that energy that is spent on that, now you don't have as much energy left over for the line art, and you're like, I just want to take a shortcut and make the line art simple and like just settle for some certain things. Here, I have all that energy left, and I was able to pour it into the art and the drawing, and I'm much happier with the level of detail on my drawing and with the quality of the line art. I feel like the line art quality is better too. So I agree. I like all of that to say, I agree with you, Bingo Ned. I think that it becomes more enjoyable. The drawing process becomes more enjoyable because you're not spent. You're not energy spent or energy depleted by the time you get to your line art. We hear monkeys. My cat trusts me to go to the bathroom by myself for once. I feel so mature. Oh, cats are great. Pets are the best. I love that for you. Congratulations. Your cat has decided you are full grown. All right, so it is 9:59. I hate to be this person, but I'm going to be this person. I cannot focus and try to chat at the same time right now because my brain needs to also figure out what I'm drawing because I didn't do my thumbnailing. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a stream. We're just going to do the 1 hour today. But I hope you guys will stay in touch. We have Discord. I hope if you're working on your own comics that you'll check out that comic playlist that I showed you. And of course, keep up with the news for Love, Curse, Queen of Rose, Liqueur. And we're going to work on this some more in the future because we really do need to bang these out in time for the March 10th release. I hope you guys will all enjoy reading it. And I look forward to seeing you around on the channel, on Discord, and on Webtoons. And I thank you guys so much for being here. And I will see you next time. Bye.